Yes, I'm Jim Geisey with the Baha'i Faith. This is a module presented by the Global Ties of Akron. It's a global education program. I'm going to be speaking on traditions of the Baha'i Faith and also the laws. Like most religions, there are certain traditions. There are two aspects of any religion. It's the social teachings as well as the spiritual teachings. We're in agreement with all religions. There are basically spiritual laws that we should all follow. We should all pray every day. We believe that prayer is really the language of God, and it's the language of the soul. So we're all common in that sense. And we have a prayer we say every day. Baha'is have three choices. They can either say a very short obligatory prayer, which we're supposed to say every day, and there's also one that you can say at noon, which is a short one. And there's also a medium prayer that some people choose to select. The long prayer, also like some of the traditions, there's bowing, kneeling, and things like that. And some people out of this tradition are not familiar with that. They choose to use the short one, which basically it just says, I believe in God. I believe in His manifestations. To become a Baha'i, culturally, you have, at least when I became a Baha'i, I'm not sure it's still true today in this full aspect, you had to acknowledge two things. One, that you believed in all the religions are sacred, they all come from God. And the two, that there are Baha'i laws that Baha'u'llah established that you should follow. We do not believe in hell. We believe that hell is far removable from God. The more spiritual you are in your afterlife, you will draw closer to God. In that sense, we're all like it pretty much as well, other than the hell tradition. Some of the not social teachings, but the Baha'i laws. We're supposed to read the aspects of the Baha'i faith at all times, every day. At some point, either when you go to bed or late in the evening. There are two holy books in the Baha'i faith so far. One is called the Kitabi, meaning book, which is Arabic again, and the other is Akron, meaning the book of certitude. The other is again Kitabi Akdas. Akdas means laws, so that becomes the book of laws, and it talks about the legal aspects of many of our social problems. Divorce, separation, what you inherit, and things of that nature, and they're defined in the Kitabi Akdas. They also not only have those, you should meditate every day if possible. Again, I mentioned you should say that prayer every day, either one of the obligatory prayers, and hopefully you'll say prayers at other times, since it is the language of the soul. The more you pray. But you should not get too tired. That's not good for the soul either. The soul, even the soul gets tired, I guess. So mentally, you're supposed to be reading. And what do you read about? Because he established social teachings, you should know what they are. Like life after death, the cause and purpose of suffering, the goal of human life, what is a true religion, who are the divine educators, who are the holy prophets and manifestations, and what is true the nature of God. Obviously God is, no man has ever spoken to God, nobody will ever know God. God is unknowable. When we see the manifestation or prophet, that's the closest we can see to God. So when Christ said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, that's what he means. That's the closest that mankind can see as far as realizing what God is. It's like, for instance, if you were a painting, as an example, you can never comprehend the creator of that painting. And likewise with God. No man can ever know God in that full sense. And all religions also teach that you're supposed to know yourself. And what does that know yourself mean? It means know your soul. And that's the hard part. Very few people, we get so materialistic, we get so wrapped up in the world, we forget who we really are. You know, if we really know that we are all children of God, we would see our similarities, and there would be no other need for another manifestation. But like all things, all religions go through like they call an age or a spiritual day, and they see their springtime and they flourish. Eventually they have the day of fruits, the harvest and so forth, and then eventually they go into decay, which becomes the winter. And almost all religions go through that. And what you see at the end is just the ghost of that religion. It's pretty much like when a person gets old and dies, or near death, you don't see the person when they were at their greatest aspect, probably maybe the mid 30s, mid 40s, when the people are supreme. You see the manifestation in its full glory. And likewise with religion, the same thing is true. At some point it's going to reach its zenith, then it's going to start decaying. We believe we have a lot of hope in the Baha'i faith because we believe this particular day or age of the Baha'i faith is going to last at least 1,000 years. So we know we're going to be around for a while. And we know you're going to be around for a while. And we look forward to reading you in all its full aspects. If you want to know more, there's a good website which I would recommend. It's the BahaiLibrary.org/books/introduction/ and I would recommend if you have other questions and want to know more, please feel free to. I think this is a good site, and I would recommend going to that. And thank you very much. Again, this is one of the segments of the Diversity of Faith module presented by Global Ties Akron, and it's part of the Global Education Program. Hope to see you again.